What was it exactly that made you say, you know what, I can't?
Well, first of all, when we get in there, you know, one of the, rest in peace, the yellow boy from UNLV,
Right.
he kind of raised his hand, and he was like, hey, man, y'all bringing all these new in here, when we going to get paid for the last project that we put out? So when that went on, it was almost like I felt the animosity between Baby bringing in some new people.
Hey, RealToon, there's some real money in the room.
All right, man, today on RealToonTV, is it safe to say we have a New Orleans legend in the building?
Yeah, you could say that. You know what I'm saying? That's what some people may say, you know what I'm saying? If you ask anybody in the city who is Mista Meena or Partners of Crown, they would probably say he a legend or part of a legendary group.
Okay, well, we got a New Orleans hip-hop pioneer. You know, we celebrating 50 years,
Yeah,
right?
50 years, right.
Yes, sir. Legend in the building, man. Mista Meena, Doc. How you feeling?
I'm great, man. Honored to be here, you know?
Okay. For sure, man. So, before we even pop the interview off, what's new in your life?
What's new in my life?
Yes, sir.
Well, what's the latest thing that I'm doing right now? I have a book out. You know what I'm saying? The book is called Untold, A Story of an Unknown Legend. It's an autobiography on my life. It's telling the whole history from when I was born to where I'm at today. And I also do a podcast that's on and popping right now, the rawest in hip hop right now, the rawest talk on TV, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Nobody give it to them like me and my dude Gas, you know what I'm saying? We dig in deep, we hold no punches, you know what I'm saying? We give it to them raw.
Yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure, man. I'm not sure if you got to see many RealToon TV interviews.
Oh, I'm a fan, bro. I'm subscribed, bro.
Yeah.
I'm subscribed to the channel, bro.
What interview got you subscribed? I'm just curious.
What interview got me on you? I think it was like when you started doing the OG Percy series, because that's damn near what it became. Like, you know, I came across OG Percy on your thing. I saw Gangster and him had a little
Salute to OG Percy.
little issue, and then he was on your platform kind of speaking his mind, like, and telling his story, and that's where I got into him at, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, salute.
And then I've been on it ever since, like everybody that you bring through, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. I'll definitely appreciate that. Over here, more than getting into the music, I like to get into the people behind the music.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Give your fans an opportunity to know the real you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So where are you originally from?
I'm from New Orleans, you know what I'm saying? I claim an area called Holly Grove. That's, if anybody in the world, that's the same little spot that Lil Wayne may claim or talk about. So that's the neighborhood I really claim that I'm from. But I done lived all over New Orleans. I lived in the Magnolia Project, St. Thomas Project, Josephine Street, New Orleans East, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been through the whole city pretty much, even the West Bank, you know what I'm saying? So, you know.
Overstood.
I really can claim it all, you know what I'm saying?
Right. How was it growing up in Holly Grove?
Holly Grove was a learning place for me, you know what I'm saying? Because when I moved to Holly Grove, those brothers embraced me like I had been born and raised. I kind of came in Holly Grove at the age of 12 years old, 12, making 13 years old. So those guys just kind of like these mentors to me. Like, they gave me game. They defined manhood for me. You know what I'm saying? They told me things that's not, men don't do that, man. Don't go, you know what I'm saying, call your mama for this. So don't go make all that noise like you getting a knife to make your mama come run outside to stop the fight, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So I just started learning the code of manhood. You know what I'm saying? I've always had to fight. You know, growing up in the Magnolia, I had to fight a lot because I'm a light-skinned dude, no big brothers, no father figure, you know what I'm saying? Single parent household, and just had to survive that way. So by the time I moved to Holly Grove, the fighting part was already in me. But, you know what I'm saying, just the ethics of how men carry themselves and do certain things is what Holly Grove taught me. And that's what defined me to the man I am today, you know?
Right.
So that's why I claim it, you know?
For sure. And at some point, you get into rap.
Yeah.
Now, around the time that you get into rap, this is before New Orleans had a real rap scene.
Right.
Like, you can say you're literally a pioneer.
Right.
Because Big Boy Records, am I right?
Big Boy Records.
That was before Cash Money or during or after? Where does
Cash Money was already kind of often doing their thing on the local scene. They had like Big Boy, I mean, they had Cash Money Records, they had Take Full Records, they had Mobile Joe Camp, things like that was already kind of circulating prior to Big Boy starting what he was doing. So we was originally supposed to sign with Cash Money, but that didn't work due to, you know what I'm saying, some things that went on that I didn't like, you know what I'm saying, because I'm 4 years older than the dude I rap with, Kango. So when I entered the game, I'm like 18, 19 years old, he like 14, 15 years old. So
Cash Money approached you first?
Yeah, we was doing this thing like a gong show at this spot called a Big Easy, and it was like if you win the gong show 3 times in a row, it's called Cash Money Nights. That's what they changed it to. So if you win the contest 3 times in a row, you get a opportunity for a record deal. So they called us in for a record deal, and it's just some things that went on in there. Like I speak on it heavy in the book, but some things went on in the meeting at the time, and I was just like, nah, I can't rock with them. Like, you know what I'm saying? I always felt like me and Baby would probably bump heads. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm kind of older, but I'm not, Baby a little older than me, but not that much older than me to where he could probably, you know, son me or do nothing like that. Like, I wasn't looking to be put in that type of atmosphere. So when I got around and I saw how things was going, I was like, nah, bro, I ain't gonna really mess with that. I told my dude, I said, look, they was feeling you because, see, my partner Kango, he do harmony. He was doing it before Drake and all these type people that came out 20, 30 years ago. You know what I'm saying? This is what this guy was doing. And they was kind of like infatuated with his sound, and it was more like trying to separate us and make us do solo stuff. So I was like, you know, it's cool if you want to go with those guys, you can go with them, but I can't really rock with them. I just think we're gonna bump heads, like, you know what I'm saying? So my dude told me he'll keep it real with me, and we just stuck it out and didn't sign with him.
What was it exactly that made you say, you know what, I can't?
Well, first of all, when we get in there, you know, one of the, rest in peace, the yellow boy from UNLV,
right,
he kind of raised his hand, and he was like, hey, man, y'all bringing all these new niggas in here, when we going to get paid for the last project that we put out? So when that went on, it was almost like I felt the animosity between Baby bringing in some new people. Now, y'all from UNLV say that they was bringing us in there for audition, but that's not what we was told when Baby came. The thing was, you win 3 times in this thing, you get a opportunity to get a record deal. So when we came, they was introducing us as the new members of Cash Money Records. So that's what made Yella be like, man, y'all bringing these new niggas in, and when we gonna get paid? So when I saw they had a little money issue.
And Yella said that in there?
Yeah, he said that in there. So when he said that, I was like, that was like a red flag for me. Like, I was like, nah, I ain't gonna be able to fuck with that. You know what I'm saying? So I had already made my mind up right when I heard that, pretty much. Like, it looked like, because I got in the game to make money. Like, you know what I'm saying? So if somebody having a little money issue, that ain't something that I probably want to tie myself into. So.
Well, what was Baby's response once Yella?
Baby was more like, look, bro, this ain't the time and place for that. Man, we're gonna discuss that. We're gonna take care of that. This ain't the time and place for that. Like, so he kind of got that on a hush right there, and then we went into talking about music, songs, like hearing Kango do melodies, we rapping songs that we had, things of that nature, for them to kind of like see, like, pretty much what we had going on, like, you know, the vibes, like, you know.
And this is before the Hot Boys.
Yeah, the Hot Boys wasn't even thought of at that time. Like this like maybe 93, something like that, 93, early 93. So the Hot Boys wasn't even thought of at that time. It was just UNLV and the other label mates that he had at the time, you know.
Right. So, where was No Limit at this time?
I think California. I don't know. They wasn't even heard of at the time. You know what I'm saying? We knew nothing about Master P. None of that. The hip hop scene in New Orleans was just, like I said, the labels that I kind of spoke of earlier. You know what I'm saying? They had Take Full Records with Jubilee. They was kind of doing the bounce music thing. Cash Money was doing like the gangster rap stuff, and Big Boy and Mobile Joe was doing gangster rap. You know what I'm saying? So when we came in the picture, Chuck wanted his label to be like a death row. So we had like Black Menace, Mystical, G Slim, the Ghetto Twins, people like that was on the label that we had at the time.
Right. And just shameless plug, you did mention that you went in a little more depth in your book. If you don't mind grabbing that book off the top, let people know.
I can't see where you put it.
It's right there, that first.
Oh, right here.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, yes indeed.
You know what I'm saying? If y'all want to know some of that untold.
You gotta put that tag. You gotta put that tag down at the bottom where they could get this from some type of way on the thing.
Okay. Link will be in the bio. Link in the description. We'll have that link in the description.
Yeah, but it's called Untold: A Story of an Unknown Legend. You know what I'm saying? Autobiography, dope read. You know what I'm saying?
RealToon got a song.
You gotta read that and tell me what you think, brother. I want to hear how you feel, you know?
We'll definitely do. Avid reader, you see the library.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back.
Yes, sir. So at some point, y'all get with Big Boy Records. Tell us, how does that?
So we get with Big Boy Records. They had a guy by the name of Sporty T. Rest in peace to Sporty T. He was a guy that saw me rapping in the Gong Show at the time, and he kind of knew that I had wanted a few times with him being involved with it. So when they started formulating the Big Boy Records thing, he was like, listen, bro, won't you come, you know what I'm saying, do your thing, you know what I'm saying, you and Kango, and let this guy see what y'all got going on. Right. So it was at the same club that Cash Money had came across us at, which was the Big Easy, and we did our thing, tore it up, and we wound up signing. That was a Saturday that we tore it up, and that Monday we had signed with him. Right. It was that quick. It was easy. No signing bonus, none of that. We didn't know nothing about nothing like that. So it was none of that was even involved. We were just happy to actually get a deal and an opportunity to put some things down on wax.
So, and why did y'all feel like they were better than Cash Money?
It wasn't about a better than. It was about an opportunity to put music out. One thing about Partners in Crime, we never felt like, you know, we get with the label because this label is better than that label. We just wanted the opportunity to put our music out to be the best that we could be. So we didn't care where we went at. Whoever we was going to sign with, we was going to make a statement. That's what we believed. That's what we felt about ourselves.
Right. And this was before streaming.
Yeah.
Like, I can imagine a younger artist watching this, you know, because now it's easy to just DistroKid, TuneCore, whatever the case may be, and release your music. But back then, it was like CDs you had to get a deal.
Yeah, because it was CDs and tapes, pressing, posters, things. Everything was tangible, hands-on. Like, you couldn't just make a cover and upload it. You know what I'm saying? You had to really have a marketing scheme behind what you was doing to kind of make an imprint so that people, you know, or at least an impact that people could really buy into. So we needed some type of machine behind us to separate us from everybody else that's just saying they rap. You know what I'm saying? So signing the deal was the goal for any rapper in the early 90s. Like, that was the dream, you know?
Right. So you guys had like several songs that became hits in the city. Tell us kind of how your journey goes after you get signed with Big Boy.
Well, after we get signed with Big Boy, we had we told Chuck about the incidents that we had with Cash Money, like far as when we went over and they spoke about it, and we felt like they had a little issue with us. Now, prior to us,
as far as on the money end, or
I mean, just the animosity that we felt UNLV was giving us toward when we first came to sign. Now, Baby gave me a call maybe 2 weeks after we didn't sign, and he asked us, will we come open up for UNLV? So when we go to open up for UNLV drop a song called Everybody's Jocking UNLV Style. Why is everybody jocking UNLV style? You're bragging to your boy about the truths and vows. Now, we had a song called Ride It, Roll It that had a phrase in it saying, I got the cutlass fitted up with the truths and vows. So that was a direct diss to us. So they had a record deal already with Cash Money, so we was like, all right. So we go home that night. I come up with the definition. We're going to change the definition of their name. It was called a U is for uptown, N is for niggas, L is for low life, V is for V is for violence. So we came up with the U is for unknown, N is for nothing, L is for low life, V is for virgins. Changed the whole concept of the acronym of their name. And then we came back the next week and did that diss song. So we had a problem with them prior to signing to Big Boy. So when we signed to Big Boy, that was one of the first songs that we recorded, a song called Ride It, Roll It, Pussy in the Can, and a song called Heron Baby. And, you know, because we had a song called Give Me Some Heron. And anybody in the city know about it, like, you know what I'm saying, we beat the streets with that, you know, it was like raw, you know what I'm saying?
Can you explain that a little bit? I know, like, Heron is big in Louisiana, you know what I'm saying? I know Young Boy talks about it a lot now.
Right.
You know, that's now, you know what I'm saying? I know Soldier Slim, back in the days, Turk has opened up and talked about his heroin use. You know, in Houston, I'm not gonna say that wasn't going on because that ain't my generation. I know we were more like Water and Lean. You know what I'm saying? Which is heroin. Right. But like what was going on then with
that was just the drug of choice at the time. You know what I'm saying? It was like no different than the kids that pop pills or pop X pills, things of that nature. Like, you know, it became a drug of choice. So nobody saw it as being bad as it was. It just was more like this the drug of choice. It's the cool thing. You know, females was talking about, you know, you ever had sex with a guy on dope, you know, they last long and this and that. You know, dudes talking about hitting them with the dope dick. And so it had become a popular, cool thing to a level of in that time, in that era. Right. So that's pretty much why the song came about, like, you know what I'm saying? Because it was like, it was the young thing, it was what people was into, and it was what we was talking about. You know, I wasn't a guy that used heroin, but a lot of my partners that was around me did. So I thought that we was making a song that was gonna make you not mess with heroin, but at the end of the day, it kind of promoted it. That's just a young mind, immature with no leadership. You know what I'm saying? You bound
Very
to,
interesting.
yeah, you bound to, and I thought we was making it derogatory because we were saying so much of what it do and how it have you looking to a level we was thinking that people wouldn't mess with it, but it was like, it became like something we promoted. You know what I'm saying?
And that was a direct diss to UNLV
well,
as well.
Yeah, the song called Puss in the Can was a direct diss.
Okay.
So what we did was, when we signed with Big Boy Records, we got to take an album cover. So our first album cover was Pissing on the Set of Six and Barone. That was their album cover. Their album cover was called Six and Barone. They were sitting on the steps of a set that they called Six and Barone. Our first album cover was Pissing on their set. Yeah, real tough.
So y'all came in the game.
We came in the game on that side, but see, a lot of people thought that we dissed them first. But like I said, they had a song called Everybody's Jockeying in Elvis Style, and it was dissing us, but they wasn't saying our name. But when we dissed them, we came directly toward them. Like, you know what I'm saying? We made it blatant.
Right. So, did the beef with UNLV ever go from on wax to street?
Well, it went to streets because me and Yellow had a fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, it got to a physical side of fighting. It started a lot of beefs between people in the wards. Like, you know, between the 3rd ward and the 17th ward, it was like, you know, animosity
ward,
and
that's
beef.
Holly Grove.
That's Holly Grove, yeah. So it consists of 3 places in the 17th. You got Holly Grove, you got Gertown, you got Pigeon Town. That's the 3 areas. Just like the Magnolia, you got the projects, the Melf, Mac, and Callio, like, you know what I'm saying, and surrounding areas create the 3rd ward, where we have those areas that create the 17th ward. And so it started a conflict amongst these areas, these wards, like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? But it's all uptown. So that's how dangerous that beef was, because we about 5-10 minutes away from each other, like, for us crossing paths. I got family in the 3rd ward, they got family in the 17th ward. So we got to cross paths a lot. So, but the only real altercation we had was a fight with me and Yellow. They had a concert, and like, you know, like, it's somewhat the 3rd ward, but somewhat like the 17th, almost like where they meet at. And they had this spot called Mr. B's, and they did a concert in there. And we had just got back in town, and it was like, hey, you want to go to the concert? I heard UNLV went off on y'all last week. We had missed it, but they was throwing another concert in the same spot again. So I was like, nah, I'm going to go. Can't go say, I ain't going to mess with it. I'm tired. We just got back. So I had a roommate. I said, my roommate, one of my best friends, Dejon. I was like, look, we going to go. So we go, and we wound up getting into it in the club. You know what I'm saying? Yellow approached me. You know, I snuck him, and then we kind of like fought. You know what I'm saying? You know, I sneak. I'm a red dude. I'm small, bro. So I strike first. I was always trained that way, to strike first, because I'm Lil. You know what I'm saying? So I can't afford you to hit me first. So I struck first. We fought. You know, got out of there. Had a little differences. Baby came, approached me. Why you come? You know, do what you do. We, you know, went back and forth a little few minutes. Jump in my car and we leave. So that was the only real physical, you know, problem that we actually had. Everything else was mainly booting up, see each other, because we was doing concerts together on the same ticket. But they had a nice crew of people, we had a nice crew of people, so it's always be like, who gonna make the first move? Nobody really made the first move, so it always would just be like a stare off, or, you know, this tension, but nothing really was happening. Now, other people was having altercations and beefs outside of us. Like, you know, I had caught one of them boys that did, not the rappers, but just people from certain areas. Like, you know what I'm saying? They'll go at it over arguments over who's the best partners of crime, UNLV. So that was kind of going on a lot. People, you know, had to pick sides on. Some people stayed neutral. I like both of y'all, but some people was like, that's my people, so they stood on it, and that's, you know.
Right, because UNLV was a legendary group too.
Oh yeah, that was dope. That was dope. We actually was fans of those brothers. You know what I'm saying? You know, when that was going down, like, that's why it was so hurtful for them to kind of diss us like out the gate. You know what I'm saying? It was like, damn, like, you know, damn, all right. You know what I'm saying? So that just sparked up something in me to be like, nah, we about to go at these dudes all the way. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that's how it went.
Well, I heard a story. I don't know if this is true. You can confirm it or not. But I guess some situation happened where Lil Ya approached you and asked you if he could wear your chain.
Yeah. That's you know, me and Lil Ya cool. That's like my brother now. You know what I'm saying? And but yeah, at this time, he was going through something mentally, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I think he had lost his mother, and he was kind of like on some other type time. So he came up to me one day. I think we was in Scores or something like that on Elysian Fields, and he had a few of his partners with him. I was in there. C Murder. I was with C Murder that night. I wasn't actually with him, but C Murder was around me, and my partner Leonard, like C Murder brother-in-law. So he come up to me. He said, "Say, bro, he got a boot that just, is unique. Like he, put this boot in his mouth." He said, "Say, bro, let me wear that chain." I said, "Well, if you could take it off my neck, you can have it. You know what I'm saying? If you could take it off my neck, you can have it." He's like, "Damn, dog, that's how you gonna play it?" I said, "I'm telling you, if you want the chain, take it off my neck, you could have it." And he just kind of looked at me, gave me a head nod, and walked off. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, "Man, dude, tripping." You know what I'm saying? Now, I told y'all about that, but he said he don't really remember it because he was going through some of the episodes that he used to be going through at the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because, y'all be going back and forth to the hospital, like, dealing with some mental issues, like, you know what I'm saying? So everybody was like, "That boy crazy, and he be tripping." And so I just took it at that time as it was a trip because he ain't physically put his hands on me or do nothing like that, but, it was what it was.
When you say he had a boot in his mouth, like, what do you mean a boot?
Like just, how he used to, tuck his mouth like a certain way where it was like we got this gangster's boot, like, you know what I'm saying?
That's the thing in Louisiana, like a boot?
They say boot up or shut up. You ever heard a song called Boot Up or Shut Up? Well, they had a song like Boot Up or Shut Up or Get Your Fucking Life Lit Up.
I done heard of booting up.
Yeah, but booting up is like this thing you do with your mouth. I'm not no boot up type nigga, you know what I'm saying? But like y'all got this boot that he put in his mouth that was just, like he sold it, like, you know what I'm saying? So, he'll let you know I'm feeling some kind of way by doing it. Another person that used to have a gangster boot was Soulja Slim. You know what I'm saying? He put a boot in his mouth. Used to be like, damn, he feeling some kind of way, you know what I'm saying? So that was like a little thing at the time, you know what I'm saying? Like, you boot up or you give a nigga a certain look, you know what I'm saying? It was like, "Oh, dude, booting up at me," like he letting me know he got a problem. So that's pretty much what booting up was, showing a nigga that you got a problem with him, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. For a brief moment, let's take the conversation somewhere different. You said you were with C Murder. Did you know C Murder?
Yeah, I knew C Murder. I knew him before he was the rapper C Murder. At the time he was dating one of my best friends, a guy named Leonard, sister. And, I knew him as Corey at the time, you know what I'm saying? Like, this before C had goals in his mouth or anything. He had braces at this time, you know what I'm saying? And so me and Corey was cool, like, as just men, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was the one that got me to go to Richmond to do the Downside Hustlers with his brother. That's how I first met Master P. So when Corey asked me, did I want to go to Richmond, I was like, yeah, I've been to California, but I've never been to Richmond, California. He's like, look at it as a free trip. So we go out there, and that's how I got on the Downside Hustlers, me and my partner with Master P and C Murder.
Okay, hold on one second. You go to Richmond, California with C Murder, and you meet P.
Yeah, I meet P.
How does that go? And is P known across New Orleans at this time?
Well, he wasn't known at the time to me, at least. I wouldn't say what he was known to everybody else, but I didn't know him. Like I said, it was just an opportunity. This was a few days after Christmas, and I was like, shit, let's go to Richmond, you know what I'm saying? So we go out there, we meet P, and P was a walk-in promotion. No Limit trench coat on, No Limit socks, picked us up in the Benz, gave us a flip phone. We didn't really know about the burners then, like, you know what I'm saying? He was ahead of that. So he's like, call home as much as you want. Here goes some phones. Like, cool, He took us to a hotel and kind of was breaking down to us. He, one thing about this guy, he was a visionist before his time because he gave us 99 ways to die. Like, check this out. I didn't believe in him, just honestly. And dude was telling me, like, I'm gonna be bigger than Bad Boy and Death Row. I'm looking at him like, I can't see it. You know what I'm saying?
And at this time, Bad Boy had Biggie and Death Row had Pac.
Yeah,
right.
So they were still living at the time or whatever. That was right before the little East Coast, West Coast war. And P was just like, had this vision like, man, I'm gonna be bigger than everybody. I'm telling you, get with me. I wasn't opposing of getting with him because I had beef with my own label at the time, and they was trying to sell my contract. So I had told P, listen, bro, like, Big Boy trying to get off our contract. If you want us, this is what he want for it. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and talk to him and see if you can sign us, like, or whatever to that degree. Because like I said, I didn't never care what label I was on. I just wanted to be able to make music the way I wanted to make it and do what I wanted to do. I felt like our music was going to work for us no matter where we went. So we went out there to do like a party or a bounce song, but KLC hadn't arrived to Richmond at the time. So, around that time, Bounce was like doing shit like, bitch, stop talking that shit. in Oakland, in that area, Too Short was known for like the famous word bitch, like, you know what I'm saying? So when the way bitch. So the way we was doing it was like, oh yeah, these dudes they killing the bitch a whole different way. So we rapping over their little beats, playing with the doing a bounce type vibe on they type beats. That was different to them. They were like, man, these dudes cool. So we wind up, P didn't want that. He wanted an actually bounce song or a party song. But with KLC not being out there, Kango wound up doing a hook for C Murder, and I rapped on it, C Murder rapped on it. But when it came out, Master P was on it. But at the time, Master P wasn't on it. It was pulled up in a song just for C Murder. But he wound up it was a song called Hustling. So we did that, and we came back home. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that was pretty much our little thing. Like, that's how we got to do some music with P. Now, P promised to give us a certain amount of money, which I talk about in the book, the amount, the whole nine. And I just couldn't get in touch with him no more. And that's what led us to having a difference or being at odds at that time. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So whatever happened with that beef?
Well, what happened was, the way it escalated to a beef was that P addressed us. Where he came, I was in college at the time, so I was going to college in New Orleans called Southern University of New Orleans, which we call SUNO, and he approached me and Corey talking in the UC. In the cafeteria, and P come across, and he's just like, "See, bro, you got my name in your fucking mouth, da 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 da." P buku taller than me, so he walk off. So I'm looking at Corey like, "Man, what's up with your brother?" He was like, "I don't really know, bro. I'm gonna talk to him."
So, C Murder was also in college with you?
No, he wasn't in college. They was there promoting a show that they was gonna have that Thursday night.
Right.
So this was maybe a Wednesday, or it might have been Thursday itself, but it was early in the day when they was promoting that they're gonna have a show at this spot called Whispers. Right. So I'm like, cool, I said, Kango, we going tonight. We going to the show. So we go to the show, and, P approached us at the show, and he like, talking to us like, like how you talk, router, and whatever. So I had a hoodie, so I threw my hoodie on, and I'm like, man, fuck what he talking about, and just kind of crossed my head. And I hear him tell Kango, man, you better talk to your partner before it be some gangster shit. So I look at P and I say, well, listen, dude, my car outside right there. I say, if you want to be some gangster shit, we can take it out now, like, you know what I'm saying? So P kind of looking at me like, oh, this little nigga talking some cash money shit, you know what I'm saying? So I guess he go talk to Biles or whoever he want to talk to. Then he come back, tell us to come holler at him by the pool table. He give us a certain amount of money. It wasn't the money we agreed upon. My partner threw the money in his face. I took the money off him. And I told him he owed us X amount of dollars, walk off, and that's where the beef started. Like, that's where the real way he like, I can't fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? So that's what, like, when Fiend and Mystical and all them went to No Limit after leaving Big Boy, we wasn't allowed to go. We wasn't even allowed to be on the premises. We couldn't go on the compound. We couldn't go nowhere around. P had put word out that anybody that fuck with them gonna get their tank taken if I find out y'all fuck with these dudes. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, these was my ex-label mates, but they was avoiding me. You know what I'm saying? When they see me because of, the word that P put out about us. Like, so that's, a lot of people was like, why y'all didn't sign with No Limit? That's the reason we didn't sign with them, because we had conflict with them prior to No Limit really blowing up like the way they did.
Right. So, Terrence Gangsta Williams, he's done a few interviews, and he mentioned, for those who don't know, Terrence Gangsta Williams is the brother of the CEO Cash Money Birdman, right?
Okay.
And he mentioned that C Murder wasn't really like that. Like, he was, he was just hanging with people who were like that, but he wasn't, a big stepper.
Yeah, that I didn't know C that way either. You know what I'm saying? C was a cool dude. Like I said, he went to the service, came home. I know he was from the project or affiliated with the project on some terms, but I didn't see him that way. Like, you know what I'm saying? I saw him as a real man. He wasn't no bitch-ass nigga. He wasn't no scary dude, but I don't think that he was a dude that was out there killing people, doing things of that nature. I don't think that was the reputation. I think that's what Gangsta was trying to, like, just put out, like, that he wasn't, like, at least when Gangsta and them was out there doing what they was doing, she wasn't out there at the time doing none of that kind of stuff. And like I said, I knew him, but I didn't know him for that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know him. Not saying that he didn't do it, just saying I didn't know him for that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we want to clarify that. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what people do. They say gangsters move in silence. So, we never know what he might have pulled off, especially in New Orleans. and just didn't speak on or talk about. But I didn't know him that way. He was a cool, laid back brother, chill. You know what I'm saying? Good dude. That's the way I know C. You know what I'm saying? I don't know him no other way.
Yeah. When you got the news that C Murder had been caught up for murder, was it like a big shock? Was you were taken aback, or?
I was more like looking like, you know, with me knowing the streets, I knew it had to be somebody from the entourage. I just didn't feel like C, you know, carry himself in that manner. And then the kind of goons that he had hanging around him, I knew that one of them would have they wouldn't even let him do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like, I just know how New Orleans roll, how certain people move, and these guys would have, you know, took that on quick, because that's like bragging rights. That's ways that you get closer to the man, all kind of things. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think somebody else would have stepped up for that and wouldn't even put C in that type of situation. You know what I'm saying? I just think that the way he was at Jefferson Parish, you know what I'm saying, he was a high profile case, so they wanted to use his name. They didn't even want the actual person. They just wanted to tie C Murder in the same way they did with Mac, you know what I'm saying, in St. Tammany Parish. They felt like, hell with who did it, I want the guy who got the name that's gonna make the case look like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna get a lot of attention off and bring a lot of attention for arresting somebody for, you know what I'm saying? It's just gonna be highly profile. So, you know, I think that's what it was about with both of those brothers. Like, I was like more in shock that C was about to go to jail for that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, but he about to fuck over C Murder, like, you know what I'm saying? And I just thought that he was gonna wind up beating the case. You know, I had a little faith in the system that maybe Master P money or affiliations will probably, you know, get that, you know, swept away and they'll be home. You know what I'm saying? But we found out differently, like, you know what I'm saying? And that was messed up, you know?
Yeah. And just to venture back off a little bit, you mentioned earlier that you know, you spent time in the Magnolias.
Yeah.
Somebody who was famous for coming out of the Magnolias was the brother Soulja Slim, the late Soulja Slim.
Right.
Did you happen to know Soulja Slim?
I knew Soulja Slim after the Magnolia. You know, like I'm older than them. I'm older than Juvie. I'm older than Magnolia, Soulja Slim, Magnolia Slim. I'm older than them. So when I lived in the project, this was like the early '70s. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, in that era, mid '70s, late '70s, I was in the project at that time. So I come up with some people that they may know that still lived in the project, but I didn't personally know them, because, you know, if you 4 years older than somebody, like, you know, if I'm 8 years old, I'm not gonna really mess with a 4-year-old. Right. Or, you know, unless he's closely affiliated, like I know his brother, his mom, or something like that. That's probably why I would know that 4-year-old. But I wouldn't know that 4-year-old as my friend or my partner at that age difference. So that's like the gap between me and Juvie is 4 years. I'm quite sure me and Slim might be 6 years. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know them personally when I lived in the project, but I knew them once they became rappers.
Who they became. Yeah. Well, I interviewed Turk, and Turk said, Hot Boy Turk, and Turk was basically saying, like, Magnolia Slim, as he called. Why do y'all call him Magnolia Slim? I'm noticing that
because he ripped the
too.
Magnolia, like, you know what I'm saying? The Soulja Slim thing came when he got with No Limit, because, you see, it's hard for somebody to call himself Magnolia Slim when P is Calio. You see what I'm saying? P represent the Calio project, like, not the Magnolia, like, so, you know.
The Magnolias and the Calios.
They was at odds, you know what I'm saying? Right. So with them being at odds, you know what I'm saying? Hey, bro, if you change your name to Soulja Slim, we could probably make this work. You're like, you know what I'm saying? Because he, you know, P was representing soldier type stuff, like, you know what I'm saying? But the soldier stuff really got created to me in the Magnolia, you know what I'm saying? Like, and Slim was one of the forefathers of that whole soldier movement, like, you know what I'm saying? The soldier rags, the whole nine. That was like something that he stood on, the Reeboks, the whole nine. That whole image of what he was putting out there is what you know, you'll see that and be like, oh, them guys got to be from the Magnolia. If you saw a bunch of dudes with camouflage rags, you would automatically give them the Magnolia Project, because that's how much they had stamped that, you know what I'm saying?
And now that's kind of like the Louisiana period. That's like the Louisiana swag. Like, you know, if they camo down, or
they soldier, they represent soldiers. Right, you know what I'm saying? So like, but Slim was like the forefather of that whole soldier movement.
Even your hat now is kind of camo down.
Yeah, it's camouflaged out. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that was, I give all that to Slim, bro. You know what I'm saying? And you know, he was like he was the face of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he probably had other guys rocking it, doing it as well, and he, you know, never know. He could have got it from somebody he knew that we didn't know. But I'm talking about as a person that stamped it and made it official. Right. Got to give it to Soulja Slim.
Well,
Magnolia Slim.
Magnolia Slim. Well, Turk in our interview, he mentioned how everywhere Soulja Slim would go, he's bringing out the Magnolia Projects, and it's bound to be a fight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You mentioned he had the boot, and you said you knew him after, you know, he kind of made it into rap. What kind of person did you see that Soulja Slim was?
He was cool, dog. Funny dude, joke a lot, you know what I'm saying? Real instigator. He'll be like, you know, bitch ass nigga, you know what I'm saying? You know, you gonna let him talk to you like that, like, you know, like instigate a lot of shit, you know, funny, you know what I'm saying? But real nigga, like, you know what I'm saying? Stood on business, stood on a code that, you know, that he stood on as a man, like, you know what I'm saying? And people respected him, like, you know what I'm saying? That's why it hurt me so much. I was on the road when Slim got killed, and it was a sad deal on that bus, because, you know, I was signed to UTP for an album, you know what I'm saying? So
What's UTP?
that's a Juvie label, UTP,
Okay.
with the Know Your Clap and all that, when they had
Right.
Skip Wack and all them. So we was one of the groups that was out there with them. So at that time, Soulja Slim we had got the word that Slim had got killed, and it was just a sober ride on that bus for some hours, like, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, Juvie and Slim had just did the Slow Motion song. It was just about to happen. Slim was just about to get his opportunity to really go to the next level, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the game was about to change for Slim, you know what I'm saying? The world was about to hear him on a whole nother level. And, you know, that wound up dying. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that was sad to all us. And I wanted to make the funeral, but like I said, we was on the road, and I couldn't get back in town to actually do it. But you know, rest in peace to Slim, bro. You know what I'm saying? That was like a brother to me, you know?
For sure. Fast forward, and then we'll rewind. But around that time, the UTP situation, that was like a partnership with Rap-A-Lot, huh?
Well, they did like it was like a partnership with Rap-A-Lot, you know what I'm saying? And you know, but it was in conjunction for a deal mainly with Juvie, like, you know what I'm saying? It was like, from what I get from it, you know, because me and Jay Prince had a pretty decent relationship where we could talk. I've met with him, I've talked to him man to man, you know, man to man, like, you know, in his office, me and him running it, me, him, and Kango. And, you know, he was mainly like looking like, I did the Know Your Clap situation because I was looking to get a deal with Juvie. I wanted a Juvie solo album. You know what I'm saying? Juvie wound up doing an Atlantic deal. And the reason why he was able to do the Atlantic deal because he gave him our album. The paperwork said a 2-album deal, and that's what Juvie gave him, 2 albums. Know Your Clap with Skip Wack and Juve, and then he gave him a Partners in Crime Club Bangers album. And when he gave him that freed him to be able to go to Atlantic to do the big, whatever deal he did with Atlantic Records. I don't know if it's the Big 3 or whatever they was doing with Fat Joe and T.I. and Juvie. It was like something like that. I forgot what the name of the situation was, but it was like, that was lucrative for Juvie to go that route, like, you know what I'm saying? So he wound up doing that deal. So it was a partnership in the beginning, but like I said, Jay Prince was looking to get an actual juvenile album out of the deal, not a Partners in Crime album, you know?
Right. And why did Juvie leave Cash Money to make this happen?
I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, you probably would have to ask Juvie that, like, you know what I'm saying? According to what I would think it was just like maybe money or not happy or I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you hear 1,000 rumors, you know what I'm saying? I just never know what's basically the truth about the reason, but whatever reason it was, Juvie was like his own man. He was the oldest of the hot boys, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, he wasn't a guy that you could just dictate to or how it's go. You know what I'm saying? If he didn't agree with it, then, you know what I'm saying, he gonna do what he gotta do to leave. So, you know, I think Juvie just felt like he could do whatever he was doing with Cash Money for himself, you know what I'm saying? He wanted his own imprint, and that's what he went out and did, you know what I'm saying? He found him some artists, and he was just like, I'm gonna go that route, like, you know what I'm saying? Basically.
Right. One second. Now, you signed to Juvie.
Yeah.
But prior to, you were beefing with Cash Money.
Yeah, I was beefing with Cash Money, but I was beefing with Cash Money actually before Juvie went over there. Now, Juvie wound up still dissing us, you know what I'm saying? He had a little verse where he was like, what I hear about these boys, partners in crime, then you and LV punished you bitches the last time, now you want to shine me to put something on your mind, some shit like that. You know, Wayne and dissed us. Wayne come on a song on BGL, my thing, and he was saying, in the prime time of the night, you could try to come mean and get your Kango split it. Better watch the names you mention and close your mouth. Better rearrange your sentences. See, a lot of people didn't know that was us. You know, so we had 3 members at one time. It was me and a Kango and Prime. So that's what he was saying. The prime time of the night, you could try to come mean and get your Kango split it. So they was talking to us, but the world didn't know who they was talking about. So that's how much of a problem we was. But when I talked to Juvie about it, Juvie was more like telling me like, hey, bro, boy, baby just wanted to destroy y'all any form of fashion. So anybody that was over here had to attack y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was a definite must that, you know, we bring some heat y'all way. So that's pretty much what that was about. You know what I'm saying? I done did songs with Juve, I done did songs with Wayne. So it wasn't no real personal beef amongst the rappers. It was more like, baby just had it like, y'all playing with me, I'm gonna try to, you know what I'm saying, destroy
So
y'all.
y'all were still, like, I remember there was a thing against y'all and UNLV.
Right.
But where does the Cash Money beef
Because
continue?
we made a song called Don't Get Comfortable, I think part 2, and we just went off on all of them. You know what I'm saying? I went off on just the whole Cash Money, like, you know what I'm saying? This, them, and then that just made, you know, because like I said, they were saying different stuff in songs, so it just only made it right that I, you know, give them a response. So I made a response on a song called Don't Get Comfortable too, and I just talked about all of them. And right before that, right after that, that's when they started breaking up. Like, you know, that's when Juvie left, BG left. Like, people started leaving pop right after that particular situation, you know what I'm saying? Because BG done dissed us and everything, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just like, it was like a Cash Money, Big Boy thing. But even when we left Big Boy, we still was beefing with, Cash Money, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Did the beef with Cash Money ever go from being on wax to street?
No, nobody got killed. You know, like I said, the only altercation we ever had was the fight with me and Yellow.
Boy.
But besides that, you know, it was no gunplay. Nobody, you know, got killed or anything behind it. Like, nobody died behind the beef, you know what I'm saying? And that was a blessing, you know, because that shit was right there. You know what I'm saying? It could have happened, but it just didn't. I was warned by Gangsta. See, now that's what Gangsta pulled up on me about. He was just more like, listen, bro, like, you know, leave that shit alone, bro. Shit getting real, you know what I'm saying? You know, shit just getting ugly like right now, you know what I'm saying? So we kind of, when we left Big Boy, we had kind of like backed off it for a minute, you know what I'm saying? Because we was more like, we ain't have that team like we had with Big Boy. Big Boy had a lot of money too, so we had a big backing when we had him like behind us. But when we left him and we was on our own, it was more like we're not ready to go to war with nobody at that time. So we kind of chilled for a moment. We wound up doing this deal with South Coast, and when we did this deal with South Coast Music Group, it was back on with it, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. I watched the interview where Gangsta talked about, I guess he pulled up on you and had a conversation. What did that conversation consist of?
It just was like what I said. Look, man, y'all, you know, like shit getting a little crazy, like, you know, around that time, rest in peace, like I said, Sporty T had made a song dissing Juvie. Juvie, you're not a soldier, and doing all this kind of stuff. One of the guys who acted like Juvie in the thing that was doing a little joke like he was juvenile, he wound up getting killed. So when he wound up getting killed, you know, a lot of speculation was in the air. People didn't know what was what. So Gangsta just was more like, listen, bro, y'all just, you know, because Gangsta's originally from Gertown. He's not originally from the Magnolia or nothing like that.
Gertown is
the 17th Ward. So that's where my partner who I ride with, Kango, that's where he's from, Gertown. So at the time we was living on Burdett and Calapista, that's in Gertown. So Gangsta pull up at the house and talk to us, and like that's pretty much what he was telling us. He was like, you know, I felt like it was a full warning for shit that just was going on in the street. Shit was getting heavy. You know, street niggas was feeling, because you got to understand, besides it just being Cash Money, they had a lot of street dudes that felt like they felt a certain kind of way about that organization, and we had people that felt a certain kind of way about us. So like I told you, the rappers wasn't really going to war, like, you know, shooting it out or nothing like that, but they had other dudes that was catching beef outside of us that just live in these different areas that was going back and forth with people. So it was getting ugly like that, like meaning the war was spreading, almost like the East Coast, West Coast thing, where it was getting crazy. So nigga like, man, y'all just chill out with it because shit getting ugly, like it's starting to take it to the streets, but not with the rappers, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, Gangsta claims that he pulled up on you to talk about dissing BG.
Right, yeah, but me and him used to joke about the BG thing, you know what I'm saying? I remember when we made the first Don't Get Comfortable, I threw him a CD. We was going on the interstate, and he pulled up in his QX, whatever little Infinity truck he had. I had a Camaro at the time. I threw it. I said, check this out. Threw him the song. We dissing BG. He catch me on a little curve going to Uptown, and he pulled back up. Y'all better leave my BG alone. But that was like a joke, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't call that a pull-up. A pull-up was the one when he came to the house and was like, really, man, y'all chill out. That was more like a real thing. Like, when we was doing the thing with BG, that was like joking, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we was going back and forth, was all fun, on wax type shit. It wasn't spurring off into the streets to no real life shit. So that was, I wouldn't call that the pull-up. The pull-up was the one at the house.
Right. So You had beef with UNLV coming out.
Yeah,
like,
that was the initial thing. Yeah,
out the gate.
Yeah.
I'm talking before you can even get in, your feet wet in the industry, you tip your toe, you beefing with
out the gate.
Yellow Boy. And
we
whatnot.
enter like that. Yeah,
Right.
we enter with beef.
Well, Yellow Boy ends up getting killed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When that happened, how did the city of New Orleans react? Because I remember he had the hit, bad ass Yellow Boy, no, you want some.
This is mystical, right? Like I said, that shit, you know, I don't know, everybody was speculating that shit could come from anywhere due to how Yellow was moving as well in the street. Yellow was like, wow, like, you know, badass Yellow Boy for real, like really getting into shit with people just everywhere, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, mystical, you know, all that kind of shit was already in the air. So, you know, like when somebody get killed in the streets and they got beef around, like with different people, shit can come from anywhere, so you can't really pinpoint nothing or put nothing on it. People just speculating, saying all kind of shit, but nobody know the truth of what really happened, but the person or the people that actually was in the action of what happened to Yellow. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I've talked to Lil Yah about it. You know, it's the same way I'm saying it was so widespread. It's hard to pinpoint like, oh, it came from here, there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that same thing Yellow Boy said.
Yeah.
I mean, Yellow Boy.
Yeah. Shit was everywhere, bro.
Well, Lil Yah also told a story about Yellow Boy pulling up on Birdman and shooting up his house over unpaid royalties. Like,
Right.
you know, just some of the stuff y'all be saying as artists from New Orleans. It's like, wow, you know what I'm saying? To come back and hear a story like that. Like, can you see something like that happening?
Yeah, man. Shit like that happen all the time. Like, you know, that's the beef for New Orleans. Like, it's typical. It's not unheard of for somebody to air out something after they feel like they got an issue with something. Like, shit can happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, with anybody. Like, you don't have to be a rapper. You can just be average people. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that wasn't unheard of when I heard it. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, damn, like, them niggas tripping. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or they got a beef in the camp or whatever may be the case. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know?
Man, and mentioning not just straight here, but you know, you were around the situation, but Mystical. You know what I'm saying? Every time like we look up, it's like it's never good with Mystical now. You know what I mean? What do you think about Mystical's current situation?
I don't know, bro. With that situation, you know, I was close with Mike. I've been on the road with him. I've toured with him. You know, I know his personality. I know how he moves. You know what I'm saying? I felt like when Mike caught the first charge, it was kind of, he violated in certain ways, but in certain ways he didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a funny story on how that worked. But you know, like I said, that's his business. But at the end of the day, like I just know he was almost railroaded on that one. The second little situation, it was more like somebody trying to frame him and get money out of him because the jacket is on him. And then thirdly, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I've heard all kind of speculations and different things that went on in that situation that was like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's all hearsay, you know what I'm saying? Me not being in his circle at the time of the events, I really couldn't call it. Now, when the first situation, when I had just left him, so I knew the girl that had put the charge on him the first time, and I kind of knew their situation and how things was moving amongst them, so I had my disbeliefs and beliefs about certain things on how that went. The second one, you know, I knew people that was in that atmosphere and telling me how that went. And I was like, wow. And then the third one, it just blew my mind because it was like a baby mama and things of that nature. So, you know, I'm kind of at all with that. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like his jacket was ugly in that situation. You know, I just felt like Mike had never got over, and it's not no excuse for him, but I just think Mike had never got over his witnessing his sister die way in the beginning of his career. I think he carried on a way where like he was over it, but never was over it. I think he never dealt with it. You know, we don't deal with psychiatrists and things of that nature. We just deal with trauma and try to patch it up and keep going, like, you know what I'm saying? But we'd be living with it and we'd be going through different things. So I just think Mike was going through a lot of stuff mentally, bro, and still trying to prove himself in a lot of ways and a lot of things, and just kept getting caught up, like, you know what I'm saying, with females, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I pray that whatever the truth is, it come out as the truth. And, you know, if he didn't do what he said he did, he come home. And if he did do what he did, then, you know, you deal with the consequences of your actions, like, you know what I'm saying? So that's my regards toward him, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. BG comes home.
Right.
And he's embraced by Birdman.
Right.
This kind of came, I wouldn't say as a shock, because we seen after Gucci Mane offered him money, Birdman spoke up.
And we're seeing him.
Yeah, but before BG came home, you know, he was beefing with Birdman, and the beef was big. Like,
right.
it was, I put a Glock in, you know, he was going hard.
Right.
When you saw Birdman embrace BG fresh out of the federal penitentiary, what were your thoughts?
I was thinking that maybe they had patched up whatever situation, because I knew that they had like a real bind prior to the beef, prior to the disagreements, prior to the arguments. They was like, he was like a son to Baby at the time. You know what I'm saying? So I knew they had a real close bind, but when I saw him embrace him, I just thought maybe like throughout the time that BG had done, that maybe they had been conversing or talking or doing whatever, and when they got to really physically see each other, like, you know, like that, it was just more like I still love you, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because brothers beef, family members beef. We be at odds. Sometimes you be wanting to knock your brother head off, like, especially in New Orleans. Like, that's the kind of way beef go in New Orleans, to a level where it can get that heavy. Well, brothers will kill brothers, cousins will kill cousins behind a feeling. Like, the biggest thing in New Orleans is about feeling played. I don't know if the rest of the world own that, but in New Orleans, feeling played can get you killed. Like, you know what I'm saying? If a person feel played a certain kind of way. So, you know, I understood, you know, like, you got to understand, BG was drugging and going through a lot of different things as well. So some of the things that, you know, BG might have was looking at probably wasn't always all the way Birdman fault due to what you was into. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, we never know how they worked that out behind the scene, but, you know, it was good to see brothers come back together with some type of understanding. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm up in age right now, so I look at things like it was a positive look for me. I wish they could work it out. I wish they could make a tour happen. I wish they could all go make some more money and, you know what I'm saying, bring it all back together again, like, you know, at least for that cause. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Speaking of making a tour happen, Hot Boy Turk, whom I interviewed, he didn't get that same embracement. As a matter of fact, Birdman came out and he spoke on Turk and basically said why he didn't want to forgive Turk, saying, like, you know, he's not going to forgive everybody, and that he, you know, had a relationship with Slim. I like Turk. You know what I'm saying? I think Turk was a vital member of the Hot Boys, probably the best lyricist on the Hot Boys at that time.
Okay.
Do you feel like there can be a Hot Boys reunion without Turk?
I think it can be without Turk, but I prefer Turk on it because he was a member of the Hot Boys. I've advocated that ever since they start talking about this. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, on the podcast that I do, I'm telling people, like, listen, bro, you know, Turk got to be on the Hot Boy thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, because at the end of the day, he's a Hot Boy. You know, it's nostalgic to see all four of them on stage. Like, you know what I'm saying? To get the whole feel. You know what I'm saying? One missing, it feels some type of funny. Turk had fans too. You know what I'm saying? I'm quite sure that, like you said, you feel like Turk was one of the most lyricist person that was amongst the group. They got probably a ton of other people that may feel that same way. They want to hear him do his part as well. So, you know, I just felt like, you know, we should be able to, as men, as grown men, as older men, put some of the differences aside, because everybody dissed Birdman. You know what I'm saying? BG, Wayne, Juvie, all of them say shit on records, the whole nine about him. The shit that Turk said on the thing was no different than what they were saying on records. You know what I'm saying? So, but I did understand where Birdman was coming from when he was like, I really wasn't fucking with dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I don't fuck with you, you can't say nothing about me. Like, it's like a relative. She could talk about me, but you can't.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I got a certain kind of love for this person that I don't have for you. So when you say something, boy, fuck you, because you ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really look at you like that. I don't respect you like that. So I can't, forgive you.
Right.
I can forgive them because I really fuck with them, but I don't really fuck with you. So what you saying, like, you eliminated yourself right there. You should have just kept your mouth quiet, like, for as a person, you know, looking at it from a Birdman perspective. So, like, that's what I get out of it when he's saying, like he said, they said, why did he roll a red carpet out for BG? He said, because I chose BG. You know how fake it is to not send nobody no letters, no money or nothing, then show up at the doorsteps when they come out like, oh, what's up, baby? We here for you. That feel real fake. And, you know, Birdman ain't trying to carry himself as a fake nigga, so I'm not about to show up to you and give you the red carpet and I ain't really joked you the whole time. Like he said, I joked BG throughout the time. You know what I'm saying? I sent money. I did things for him that I didn't do for Turk. So that's why he got the red carpet when he came home, because I rock with him a certain kind of way.
Yeah.
He said I wasn't rocking with Turk before all this happened. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of understand it. You know, I don't like it, but because I just wish that they can get past that shit and just move on and do something good for the fans. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a fan of what they was doing too. You know what I'm saying? I would like to see all of them together. You know.
When I look at their situation, because now like you kind of just got me thinking like, man, Turk would be better off dissing Slim, because that's who you knew. You know what I'm saying? So Birdman almost don't got nothing to do with whatever your issues were, because you dealt with Slim. When you met, when you had the opportunity to sit down with, or audition, you could say, for Cash Money, was Birdman and Slim there?
Yeah, Birdman and Slim was there.
What was the difference in the two personalities?
Slim's just quiet, man. He like laid back, you know, soft spoken, don't really say too much, you know. I guess he do his business with Baby and they deal with it. He'll talk to you, but he a man of a few words. You know, Baby just, you know, got a lot of, you know, hand rubbing antics, you know what I'm saying? Just he have a different personality and it stand out, you know what I'm saying? Look here, Playboy. Like, you know, like that was his thing. Like, you know, he got this certain street little vibe about him, and that's what made me like look funny, like, you know what I'm saying? Because like as a CEO, I'm looking like I want to do business with somebody that's talking business, not like acting like, you know what I'm saying, I'm about to score a bird from. You know what I'm saying, dog? Like, it's just that's what like kind of turned me off with it. But that was the difference in them. Like, one of them was more laid back and one of them more outspoken and saying what he's saying. And, you know, he kind of like setting the tone for this is what Cash Money is about. You know what I'm saying? Slim just more like, it's like good cop, bad cop. We both want the same thing. I'm being nice to you, but, you know, he being an asshole or whatever may be the case, but we want the same thing. So that's how I looked at them. I'm like, they stand for the same thing, but one of them just chill, and the other one just he let his brother do whatever he want to do with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Final question. We can get ready to wrap. But I'm curious to know, when you seen BG come home and he's the internet embraced him for a minute. Then it was like they immediately turned on. Start saying he was zesty.
Yeah, that's the
you know what I'm saying? What did you think about the zesty?
See, I think that they lose the whole swag of BG. BG got like even Slim, they got like this little vibe like about them. Ain't nothing zesty about it. It's really street. Like, you know, if you see I beat one hand, like he got this little thing where he like winding his hand, he move, you know, and now he got hair. You know, at the time BG didn't have hair. So it's the same posture that he been having, but it's more like, let me get my hair out the way, or that looks zesty because you throwing your hair back or moving your hair a certain kind of way. But that's his swag. If he didn't have hair, you'll just see the regular demeanor, how he carries himself. See, we talk with our hands and, you know, you heard me, this how we do it. Yeah, it's BG, you heard. Like, it's like an image of how they carry themselves. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it comes from drugging or whatever may be the case, but it's like, that's their swag. Like, you know, and if you saw Slim, he had, like, if you look back on footage, you'll see Slim doing the same thing, moving his hand, but they didn't have long hair at the time to get that shit out of my way. You know what I'm saying? So I think people caught him with the motion of this and with him moving a certain way and put his hair, oh, he looking zesty. Nah, y'all just young, bro. Y'all just don't know where this man come from or what he doing. Some of them just had laid their eyes on BG for the first time, you know, when they saw that particular clip of him, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's what I would say. But nah, I don't think nothing zesty about BG. He ain't show me nothing. I ain't even take it that way because I understood his posture, you know what I'm saying?
Right. I know I said that was the final question, but I did have the opportunity to tune into your podcast.
No Rap Cap podcast, man. No Rap Cap. The Roys are the Roys. The streeters are the streeters. You already know, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I saw you spoke on Gilly the Kid.
Yeah.
And so basically Gilly the Kid goes off on Birdman after Birdman essentially said that Gilly the Kid never wrote for Wayne. You know what I'm saying? On Clubhouse, I think it was.
Yeah.
And Gilly the Kid gets the... Well, then Birdman went a step further. He said, I seen you get played, and so
he said he got pressured by Beanie, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, but you know, like, you know, I heard Gilly saying, like, after 25 years, you finally speak, but it's not after 25 years because Gilly's been going on multiple platforms kind of speaking on this throughout the time. He just had Big U and whacking them, and they was just going off on how he felt about Cash Money maybe a year ago. So it haven't been 25 years. But I just think that Birdman maybe have gotten to a situation or a timeline like, man, I'm just tired of people speaking on my name in certain ways, and I've been letting shit go. But you got to understand, things fester in you after a period of time, especially if you keep doing it. So I just think if Gilly said that how he felt way back in the days and would have never brought it back up in this day and time, you know, it probably wouldn't have even been nothing that Birdman addressed. But somebody did ask him about the Gilly thing. He didn't directly just come on there to get off on Gilly. It's kind of somebody asked him about him, and he just spoke his piece on it. And, you know, I don't think that, you know, I thought the brand that Gilly stand for, you know, advocating for young, you know, the youth to stay focused and don't get deterred and don't get caught in no dumb shit and all this type of stuff. I just felt like he should have took the high road on that and been like, man, Birdman, go ahead. You know, that's some 25-year-old shit. I'm getting the bag now. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, he had to come back, you know, I guess drop his nuts and repeat what he said. Because like I said, sometimes when you worrying about what other people say, you have to do that, because I felt like, you know, it'll look like you crawfishing right now, backing off. You know, now that Birdman finally spoke up, now you saying you don't really want no smoke. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's why Gilly still had came across as, I said you this, I called you a bitch, whatever may be the case. I think he just had to reiterate what he said years ago so he could look like I'm still that same nigga, like, you know what I'm saying? But to me, it's foolish. You know, these guys 40, 50 years old, you know what I'm saying? We should be on some other type time. Everybody getting the bag, everybody focused on the bag. I just think that
right.
It ain't a good look for us as a people. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Did you ever graduate college?
No, I didn't graduate to college, man. I was a career student. Like, I just went to college and changed my major every time I wanted to know something about something. Right. Real talk. I ran all my what they call it,
student loans.
Student loan. Not student loan. I didn't get student loans. What it is?
Scholarship.
The grant money, like when you get the Pell Grants.
Yeah.
I just exhausted everything I could do with the Pell Grant. When they told me I ain't got no more Pell Grant money, then I stopped going to college. Yeah. But I just went to school to learn what I wanted to learn. Anything I was, wanted to be educated on, I just took it as a major, learned a little something about it, and went on to another one. And you know what I'm saying? That was that was the way I moved.
Yeah, well, cause the only reason I asked that is because a lot of rappers feel like it's cooler to be dumb. You know what I'm saying? And you was in school.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Doing it at the level in which you were doing it, to where two of the biggest labels to ever come out of New Orleans were eyeing you, you know what I'm saying? And you know, and you actually did work with them in some way, shape, form, or fashion, right?
Yep.
And so I just found that interesting. You know what I'm saying?
I was always a balanced kid, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always knew that, you know, I never was like...
Back then, was it popular to go to school? Was that a thing?
I wouldn't know if it was, I wouldn't say it was directly the populist thing, like it's either you on that side or you on this side. It was either or, it wasn't no in between. I had somewhat balance, like I was a little dipping and dabbing in the streets, but I also had a mother that I respected a certain kind of way that I wanted to make proud. So I was like living two lives. Like, I was in the streets doing one thing, but then I come home like and be a certain kind of way with my mom, like, you know what I'm saying, bro? So that's what gave me the balance, like, you know what I'm saying? And with nobody ever graduating from high school in my family, going to college, I just wanted to make my mama proud and take it a step further than everybody else that pretty much that we knew. You know what I'm saying? So I gave it a try. School wasn't for me, but I still gave it a try.
Right. Well, and lastly, you know, your book, right? I haven't had the opportunity to read it yet. It is on my to-do list, first thing on the to-do list. You know what I'm talking about?
Appreciate that too.
But like, what made you write a book? We don't see a lot of, I guess we are starting to see more, you know what I'm saying? Right. Like, I think DJ Yella out of NWA, but Jay Prince wrote a book, you know, Charlamagne wrote a book, Gucci Mane wrote a book. There's not many artists though. Right. You know what I'm saying? These are the big artists, the artists who like done had this much success. World, right? They've already established themselves, and they, you know, now they're writing books, but that's few, far, and in between. You know what I'm saying? What made you come out and be like, you know what?
I just felt like we had a unique story. Like, you know, we was at odds with two of the biggest rap moguls in hip hop. Right. You know what I'm saying? Master P, you know, Baby and Slim or whatever, Cash Money No Limit. Like, you know what I'm saying? And we was the people that the world may not know. So before somebody else was to tell my story, I said I'd rather tell my own story. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, it was on my to-do list. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, man, I want to put my own, you know, story out. I don't want to die and then somebody come to my family and say, I want to write a story on your father or your husband or whatever may be the case. You know what I'm saying? And then they work that business out. No, let me go ahead and tell my own story and put it in my own words on how it went to me and how I felt about it. You know, nobody can speak for me but me. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like I'm getting up in age. Why not? Like, you know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and knock this out so I can, you know what I'm saying, be off my to-do list, you know.
Right, check. You got me inspired to finish my book. You
Gotta do it, brother. You gotta do it, man. You know, time ain't waiting for nobody, and none that's promised tomorrow. So you just never know how far it may go. So everybody be thinking they got tomorrow, but then tomorrow don't come. So if you could do it, go ahead and do it, man. Put it on your to-do list and knock it off, you know.
Amen. Is there anything we left off that you wanted to address or speak on?
Nah, bro, you covered everything. You a motherfucker.
I don't know why. I feel like I missed something.
Nah, you know, you pretty much covered everything. Like I said, I got the book, bro. I got the podcast, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I rap with a group called Partners in Crime. Look us up, you know what I'm saying? We've been around 3 decades in the game, you know what I'm saying? Still working, still doing things. You know, we come out here to beat up on you Texans this weekend, you know what I'm saying? And that's what it is, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Holla at your boy, man.
Oh, sure, man. You want to put a wager on that?
Yeah, that's good.
I got 20 on the Texans.
It's on 20. That's,
20. It's on the wood.
There's some real money in this room, too.
Hey, RealToon, there's some real money in the room.